Hi guys, my name is Damien. Welcome to Irish Feeder. Today I'm in Lochgowna village. I want to try a bit of a distance fishing. What do I mean by saying a distance fishing? Distance fishing for me is anything over after 60 meters long, right? So it's not that hard to cast out 60 meters, but it's hard to be accurate, and that's the main thing. Now I show you today how do I prepare for this style of fishing, and I show you my mix for winter fishing as well. Now first of all, I want to show you my mix for winter, okay? It'll be two different ground baits, both from Vandenoy. One of them is Super Cup, it's a dark version, and the other one is G5. It's a dark one as well. I'm trying to use a dark ground bait, especially for winter time. You know, these fish are quite shy, and there's loads of pikes. There might be loads of pikes around, so black mix, dark mix is my mix. Okay, so I'm probably gonna mix them 50-50. Now another very important thing is dry ground bait, right? I'm putting through a sieve. It's a 2mm riddle, okay? Why? Because there's always bigger particles in it, and I don't want them in the winter. I want to get rid of them, okay? So it's nearly a whole box of the Super Cup. Now, same amount of the G5. Yeah, that should be enough. Same again, thrown on the riddle. Now, as you can see, hope you'll be able to see that, yeah, there's loads of big particles in it, okay, and I don't want that in the winter mix. So And get rid of that. Birds will eat that. Mix it dry first. And now we can add some water. Don't put too much water in it. If you put your granary through a 2 ml sieve, don't forget there's no big particles in it. So don't go mad with water. Because you overwet your ground bait and it'll be no good. And that's another thing, I want my ground bait quite dry in the winter. Bit more water. Now that should be enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it for about 20 minutes. Now guys, I want to show you how do I plumb the swim before start fishing, okay? This is very important. You can't just cast out at 60 meters and just clipped up and stay there. Check the bottom, check what's the bottom like first, okay? That's very important, because there might be some ledges, there might be some rocks or something like that. So how do I do that? Well, I use 60 gram open window feeder, okay? I don't have a bum with me, that's why I have to use that. I know I'm clipped up there, I'd say about 40 meters or so. So I have to get rid of that clip first. Yeah. I'm fishing with braid direct. I don't use any shock leader, okay? Not in the winter time, especially when I'm fishing distance, long range. I don't use shock leader. So the good thing is just make sure you wet your braid, okay? That's very important. There's another clip there. Get rid of that. Now we're going to clip up that distance, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so it's 75 turns, right, which is, I use Preston Intensity 720 reel, and one turn is about 1 meter. I think it's 96 or 8 centimeters, okay? So 75 turns, it's about 73 meters, okay? Now, I want to check the depth. So cast out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 seconds. Hit the bottom, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind go back 5 turns, okay, and clipped up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 75 turns. Now we're going to check the depth on that 70 turns. It's a bit windy today, so I don't want to go like 80, 90 meters because I don't think that'd be a great idea. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same. Another 5 turns back towards me, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be 65 turns now. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same depth. Right, okay, so let's clip that off. Now I'll try to cast about 50 meters out, okay? And check if it's the same depth or not. I know this lake, it's quite flat. There's no really drop-offs or nothing like that. But I know the fish like to sit about 60, 70 meters out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same. And that was on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. $51 tons, and it's the same depth. So I'm probably going to stay on that 75 tons, okay? Right, so that's the 75 tons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so I'm fishing on 76 tons, okay? That's my distance today. It's quite far, okay? Now, don't forget, the weather in Ireland can change in a minute. It can change like this, and you get strong wind or something, and you won't be able to reach that distance, okay? So, before you go fishing, simply check the weather. Check for the wind. Well, that's the most important thing is, right? And if you won't be able to fish that distance, go 60 meters, you know. But plumbed up the swim first and see what's the bottom like. You can't just clip it up at 60 meters and fish there, okay? Just check the bottom, okay? Now I'm going to go back to my mix, push it through the riddle. Well, first I'm going to add some lean into it. It'll be 50-50 mixed with ground bait with lean. Mix 50-50, push it through the riddle. I want a nice and fluffy mix, right? Quite dry, all right? That's what I like for the winter. That's my mix for the winter, okay? Mix is quite dry, so we'll probably need to add some more water. So I'm going to put lean. But first of all, I'm going to throw all that ground bait into the box. Just so I know how much lean do I have to put it on. It's almost full box, okay? So put this back again. Now that's my limb, okay? It's almost same amount. I think that's too much mix I've done, but it's okay. Now throw this into it, into the bowl. Mix it together. It's too dry, so I have to put more water in it. And now I'm going to push it through the riddle. This riddle, it's a 3mm riddle, okay? It's very important to use riddle, okay, especially in the winter. And I'll show you why. As you can see, all those lumps, we had to get rid of them, okay? And there it is, nice fluffy mix. As you can see, that's what I like in the winter. Now just throw it back into the box. Now the mix is ready, so I'll talk to you once I get to the box, okay? Now guys, I show you my bait tray. It's very simple. I have maggots, there's the ground bait and some pinkies, okay? I like to keep it very simple, especially in the winter. Now I'm going to be very positive at the start, okay? I'm not going to feed my line or anything like that. I'm just probably going to chalk every minute or 2 minutes at the start. for the first half an hour anyway. I don't know how the fish react, I don't know what to expect. It's not really, it doesn't really matter. The point is to show you how do I fish on a distance, okay? Right, so 2 pinkies on the hook. Hit the clip. And we're fishing. Right guys, quickly, what do you need for, what kind of a gear do you need for distance fishing? First thing is the rod, okay? You need at least like 4 meter length rod, okay? 4.2 will be perfect for this style of fishing. Simply, you can go to the shop and talk to a man there, tell him what do you need. Tell him you need a rod for distance fishing and he'll be able to tell you. Wow, I had a first bite there. Unbelievable. Another very important thing is, I think I missed that. Oh no, I have some fish. It's only small, probably roach. Yeah. Another very important thing is the reel, okay? It has to be big enough reel to get that distance. Don't forget. I think I lost that fish. Well, I use 720 reel, okay? It's big enough. It has wide, big spool, right? Which is very important when you're distance fishing. I think using a reel like 4,000 size reel, it's a big no-no. Not for distance. Now another thing is, I don't use any shock leader, okay? I'm fishing braid direct. It's easier to cast because there's no stretch on the braid, don't forget that, okay? And especially in the winter, the bites are very shy, so I'll be able to see bites much quicker and better, okay? Now the rig I use for distance fishing is a helicopter rig. I think it's the best rig for me for distance fishing, okay? It's tangle free. Now I know I've been asked to show you guys how do I tie the rigs, feeder rigs, and when do I use them. So that'll be my next movie, I promise. I'm not putting any maggots or pinkies into my mix, okay? I just use pure mix at the start because I don't know how the fish react. I don't want to overfeed them, if you know what I mean. Don't squeeze it too hard because I know it's not that deep in here, okay? As you can see, 75 turns, 76, sorry, so it's about 75 meters out. It's not that hard to cast out, okay? But it's not easy to be accurate. And that's very important when you're feeder fishing, especially in that distance. So the best thing is just go out fishing, go out to the bank and practice, okay? You can start, that's what I've done. I start my distance, well, as you can call it distance, I start fishing on the 50 meters, okay? And I was practicing, I was training the casts. I want to be very accurate at that distance. Once I get that, I went 60 meters, okay? And then 70, 80 meters. I don't really fish, I don't really go over 80 meters, to be honest. Like, I don't think we need to go that far. It's not easy to fish 80, 90 meters when the weather is rough. Once we get a strong wind, forget it. It's too far. Water is very cold and it's very clear, so I know the fishing is a bit difficult, but it's not the point to catch a nice bag of fish. As I said before, I just want to show you how do I fish on distance. That's the main thing. And how do I make the mix for winter. Always put it through the sieve, 2 mil sieve, dry ground bait. I want to get rid of all that big particles. And then mix 50-50 with leam, okay? Sometimes it needs time to drag those fish into your swim, especially in the winter. Sometimes it takes an hour to get them in. So I have to be patient, okay? Now guys, I would like to show you something, okay? If you don't know, if you want to know what's happening in your swim when you feeder fish the bottom, it's very easy to check that, okay? I'll show you now. Just simply push your ground bait into the feeder, okay? Now, all you have to do is just drop that into the water, okay? Now, as you can see, there's some bubbles coming up. Some small particles lifting up, but not much. Now I leave that for a minute or so. It's walking very slow. I hope you'll be able to see that. Now I don't know, did I mention that I use a 13-foot Tubertini rod, okay? It's a Tubertini concept rod. It's great for this style of fishing. Now as you can see, ground bait is breaking up slowly. It makes a little cloud. And now we try to lift the feeder, okay? Pretend that you just widen up, right? And see what happens with the ground bait. There you go. feeder is empty and it makes a little cloud at the bottom. Now guys, I'd love to show you another trick, okay? Now I have some casters, okay? So what I'm going to do is, there's some casters and dead maggots in it as well. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use that box there, okay? And I'm going to squeeze them, okay? Just like that. I'm going to put some more. And now put some ground bait into it. And mix that together. Now it's quite wet, alright. It's like over wetted. And now I'm going to push it into the feeder, and I'm going to probably use maybe 2 or 3 feederfuls in like that, and see, will this help to drag me those fish into my swim? I don't know, but we can try that and see what happens. Now 2 maggots again. This sloppy mix with casters. See, will this help to catch some fish? I had only 3 bites at the start and then nothing, so that's another thing. I'm quite sure the fish are still there, you know, they didn't move off. But the very important thing is just to keep changing the things, okay? Until you find the best way to catch them. And I'm going to use that sloppy mix for about 4 or 5 casts, right? Because I don't want to overfeed the fish. Because it's very rich mix, like there's loads of casters and dead maggots in it. So only 4 to 5 feeders, and then I'll be back to my dry mix. The mix itself. After I throw 5 feederfuls in, full of casters and dead maggots, this sloppy mix I did show you earlier. I'm getting a few bites now. So it looks like it did help. Now it's only roach, but it's still nice to get a few bites, you know. Got another fish. Say it's another roach. It's a nice roach, about 200 grams easy. So as you can see, this sloppy mix works really well. So don't be afraid, keep changing the things. Another bite, another fish on. Say another nice roach. I love fishing on a distance. You can play with the fish longer. It's fantastic way fishing. Another nice roach. Bite straight away once the feeder hits the bottom. And that's what it is in winter time. You have to be patient. Don't give up. Keep chucking and the fish will come to you. Sometimes it just takes longer, an hour and a half to get proper bites, regular bites. Another roach. Another fish on. I'm getting bites quite regular. There's bite every cast. All I'm catching is roach, and some of them are really nice. First hour was very slow. But that's what I was saying at the start. That's winter fishing. You have to be patient. You have to wait for those fish to come to you. That's another roach. Another nice roach. That's a lovely roach. At least 300 grams, I'd say. I'll show you the fish quickly. Some really nice roach. There's another one there. Beautiful fish. Now I got probably 20 fish like this for 3 hours, but that doesn't matter. It was nice to be out. Now just throw them back in the water. Now guys, that's it for today. Time to go home. It's quite cold, as you can see. I'm well wrapped, but it was a nice session. Now a few words about distance fishing, okay? Don't forget, you have to have a proper gear, all right? And I mean, you have to have a proper rod. That's first thing, okay? It has to be like 4 meter length, 4.2, and use 1.5 ounce tip or maybe 2 ounce tip. Try to use as light as tip as you can. Of course, it all depends on the weather conditions. That's another thing. But another thing is to have a nice good reel, okay? Wide, big spool, right? That's very important. And another thing would be feeders. The feeder that you're using, it has to be a distance feeder. Distance feeder is, it has to be the lead, all the weight has to be focused at the bottom of the feeder, okay? So it's just easier to cast. And I'd say if you're thinking about 70, 80 meter fishing, you're talking about 60 gram, 75 gram feeder. Easy, okay? Now you can use shock leader if you like. I don't use that, not in the winter anyway, because I want to see the bites, because the bites are very shy in the winter, okay? And if I use braid direct, it's just easier to see the bite, okay? Now that's it really. Another thing is in the winter time, which I think is very important, try not to overfeed the fish, okay? Don't use loads of maggots, casters and stuff like that. Scale down, that's very important, okay? Now, I don't know if I'll be able to see you guys in this side of the Christmas. If not, I would like to say Happy Christmas to you. Have a good time, and I will see you next time. I'd say after Christmas. Now the next movie, I'm going to throw it on maybe just right after Christmas, but it'll be a short movie. I'm going to make it at home. I'm going to show you how do I tie my rigs, my feeder rigs, and I do explain you all that. When do I use them and all that, okay? So, right guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you didn't do it yet, please. And have a good Christmas again. See you guys.